Hello. Are Christians Christian? I'm not sure anymore. Um, this Christian nationalism stuff that I'm hearing all about, the hate that's coming out of some of these churches and preachers and all that, just are not synonymous with Christ's teachings or anything else. I don't understand what's happening here. Most of my clips, I don't understand. I just don't. I can presume, I can give opinions or whatever, but I do know that whatever you do, you influence the society in some way or another. Some people look at it as the butterfly effect or whatever. I don't look at it that minutely, but you have influence. What you do means something. Whether you're a Christian or a Muslim or whatever, like the riots in France right now that have been going on recently. You know, the immigrant communities are up in arms. Why? Because they're not getting things that they want. The same with this Christian nationalism stuff. They're not getting the things that they want. They have a taste of it now. There's after Roe versus Wade, and they get political uh, advantages and such and such. There's a taste now. They can do it. They can get it. They can conquer. They've got the power. What does power do? There's an old adage. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Maybe pretty much the same. And what do people want who have power, who have money? Billionaires, billionaires, billionaires. What do they want? Just more money? No, they want power. They want more power. They want to influence because they're little, frankly, many of them are just little turds. They are. They're just human beings who have a position of influence. They don't have the heart, the qualities that are needed to use that money and power and influence as Christ wanted them to use it. That's what he died for. But they're little, they're little people, really. Many of them. And there's some good ones, of course there are. Just like I've said in 1,000 clips, nothing is one way. Some good people and some really lousy people. But I still like the comment from Killer Angels, Michael Cera's book on Gettysburg and the Civil War. If you guys get a chance to read it, read it. It's a fantastic book. I put the thoughts of these the individuals from diaries, letters, and all into a understandable read, and it's fascinating. Uh, most everything in the book is, true, factually, but the character of people is different. The ideas, well, I shouldn't say that. The character of people is the same as the character today. It's just they're influenced differently. Every era is influenced differently. We're influenced differently. The society today has no baseline. This internet that you're seeing me on, there's no baseline. Everything is equal. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's nothing. It's all up to you, Jack. And you, Jack, don't know. Who the hell can who are you? Who am I don't know. How can I possibly know? I have a mind, I observe, I see, I feel. But it's a big world out there. I'm going to know that? Don't be naive. I don't care if it's Joe Biden and certainly not the other side. I'm sorry, but they just are not for you. They're not for us. That's where this Christian nationalism stuff comes from. They're not for people. They're for themselves. They're for power, rule, control. Just listen to it. It's not Christian. It's not Christ's love. There's so much hate there. You know, all this stuff with the banning of the books and all this nonsense goes on. I just cannot understand that. That's wrong. It's always been wrong. This is a free society. But no, it's not a free society. It's only a free society if you want it to be free and you're on the right side of freedom. Otherwise, it's not free. You're a bloody slave. No, it doesn't work that way. It's up to us. It's always been up to us. I have disagreements, with the, inalienable rights. It's a nice concept. It's a true concept. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Okay, great, wonderful, terrific. Slaves didn't have that. And when they wrote the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, these people had slaves. George Washington had slaves. Thomas Jefferson had slaves. Did they care about the slaves? No, they didn't care about the slaves. They were using those people. My gosh. Come on. They didn't even consider them as people. Look at the rulings of the so-called Supreme Court, the Wonder Court. My gosh, what they're doing now. Corrupt as they are. Have they been corrupt before? Of course. I'm sure they have. They're all good people in the past? No, of course not. But it levels out because there's societal norms. What are the societal norms today? I talked to one of my daughters. They talk about transsexualness and they talk about all these issues that are being promoted on one level. And they are concerns. Of course, there are concerns. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. There's people that abuse things. Good grief. Of course there are. But we know what's right. Honor, respect, dignity, agape, accept. Where are the Christians that are showing this? Living it. There are good people. Of course there are. They're wonderful people. Decent, giving people. You see, I saw this clip where a guy climbed down the side of an embankment to save a dog in a flooded river. Risk his life to save some mutt. To those who like mutts, it was a good thing. I don't know if he was married. I don't know if he had a family. I don't know anything about the man, but I'm sure he had people around him that would have mourned his death. But he didn't think of that. He went down to save that dog. And he did. And then others came along and helped him because he couldn't get back up without other help. And then people forget. You're pulling this weight up a wall in a raging flood. Sometimes you get pulled over. Is it worth the risk? To him it was. He had value. He wanted to save that life. But the values that you have to use and understand and engage and participate in the society with, which shapes the society, has to be honed, has to be developed. I say this many times, developed. We are developing. This internet thing is a bad thing in many ways. Oh, it's a great thing in other ways. Of course it is. Everything is yin and yang. Are Christians really Christians today? And of course, I'm not talking about the one or two good, upstanding, caring, decent, honorable people. About the majority, well, I guess I wouldn't say the majority. I can't say that in any true way from my belief structure. But there's a very large minority. I think I can say that with truth. That influences the majority. in these Christian communities. There's good things being said. Of course there are. Sunday school is loaded with good things. What do? They end up banning books. Then what happens? They don't want pornography in books. They don't want violence in books. They don't want homosexuality in books. They don't want, all these things that are in books because books represent life. Then what happens? They ban the books with all those within that context. And now other people are using that to ban the Bible. Because in the Bible, what? Especially in the Old Testament, even in the New Testament, stories of harm and violence and adultery and sorrow. So it can't be banned according to those, protect the kids. Everything is protect the kids. I'm not one of those. Of course you protect the children, but you also protect the adults. Everybody needs protection. Everybody. We're not, all cut from the same cloth. Well, think about it. Are Christians Christians today? And what makes that so? It's an open question. Are Christians really Christians? Are they following Christ? Think about it. I wonder. I don't know enough, but I wonder. If you can subscribe to this channel, please do. If you can spread the word, send a copy to someone, a link or whatever. Please do. Like it. My viewership is limited. I would like to see more of it. I would like to see it expand if you can. Share the word. Best wishes. Thanks for everything. Have a great day if you can. And hope for the best. Keep hope alive. Always keep it. It's a difficult thing to do, but it's there. Don't deny. Don't pretend. Don't ignore. Keep hope alive. And still be happy. You're living a miracle. Life is a miracle. Don't ever forget that.